Before leaving for Cremo, the Baron talks to Javier. He confesses that, inspired by Lloyd's courage and actions, he too has found the strength to face challenges. Admitting that he was an indecisive and incompetent leader, he is contradicted by Javier, who remembers the Baron's kindness. Through a flashback, we see how the Baron found young Javier, an orphan freezing on the streets, and offered him shelter. While appreciating Javier's words, the Baron insists that kindness is not enough. A leader must have firm principles and act, just like Lloyd. Javier is conflicted. Although he acknowledges that Lloyd's only principle seems to be greed, he is no longer so sure that chasing money is a bad thing, given the positive results. At that moment, the Baron changes his mission. From now on, Javier will no longer monitor Lloyd, but will protect him as the rightful heir to the estate. Javier accepts, although he still cannot like Lloyd. The reason for this deep resentment is revealed in another flashback. After the Baron rescues him and gives him a wooden sword carved by himself, promising to make him the strongest knight, Javier finds a purpose: to become a knight and protect his master. However, the young Lloyd, in an act of cruelty typical of the hooligan of the time, snatches the wooden sword from him, mocks him for being an orphan, and crushes the sword under his feet. This painful memory has left a deep scar. Even now, in the present, Javier looks at the broken wooden sword displayed on the wall of his room and reaffirms his feelings. I could never like him. Their relationship continues in the same vein. Lloyd blackmails Javier into giving him his lullaby, a monotonous reading from engineering textbooks that helps him fall asleep. During these sessions, Javier, although he should hate him, is forced to recognize the radical change in Lloyd. The man who puts himself in danger for his workers and who works tirelessly to improve his field is a completely different person from the cruel child in his memories. He hates himself because he begins to see him as a decent person. One night, while Lloyd and Javier are sleeping, an assassin sent by Viscount Lacona, the scarred knight whom Lloyd has twice humiliated, sneaks into the room to kill Lloyd. But Javier, even in his sleep, senses the presence of danger. He wakes up instantly and parries the fatal blow. As the two fight, the noise wakes Lloyd, who jumps out of bed in a daze, only to see Javier disarm and capture the assassin. The next day, while supervising the work on the aqueduct, Lloyd learns that the assassin has been handed over to the Viscount. Javier explains the logic. The Viscount, furious at paying a fortune for water, fired the knight, who then acted out of revenge. Javier criticizes Lloyd for not taking any precautions, even though he should have anticipated such an attack. Lloyd, with a calm expression, replies, "What other precautions do I need when I have you by my side?" He explains to Javier that he trusts him completely. He reminds him of his past. "Do you think it's possible for a 5-year-old boy to survive the winter alone? But you did it and became a knight. Is there anything more trustworthy than that?" These words hit Javier hard. He realizes that Lloyd is not ignorant of his past, but recognizes it as a source of strength. The moment is awkward, but sincere. Javier, visibly embarrassed, doesn't know what to say, but inside he recognizes that Lloyd is, despite his methods, a decent man. In that moment, his long-held resentment melts away. The system immediately announces the change. Javier's approval rating increases by plus 15 points, reaching positive territory for the first time at plus 6. This major improvement in the relationship earns Lloyd 320 RP, bringing his total to 1675. With the aqueduct almost complete, Lloyd, full of energy, announces that it's time to go to Cremo to make big money. The chapter ends with a new dynamic between the two. The barrier between them has finally been broken down, and Javier now looks at Lloyd not just as a master he must protect, but perhaps, for the first time, as a man worthy of respect.